Hi everyone. Today we're looking at how to do couching. Couching is an embroidery technique in which you sew down other bits of fabric or ribbon onto the surface of the material. Now if you look at this sample I've got here, it has lots of hand embroidery in it as well as couching, and that is what I'm going to be showing you today. Couching is a fantastic technique because it doesn't need a lot of resources and it creates beautiful pieces of fabric. You can then put these on the side of a bag, or you could use this and applique it onto a wall hanging. Very useful, limited resources. Let's get started. Okay guys, let's take a few minutes just to examine this sample that I have here. It has lots and lots of different types of hand embroidery stitches. There's chain stitch, there's Cretan stitch, there's a join fly stitch. I've got lots and lots of different types of stitching that are entirely filling this piece of fabric. The fabric was originally white, but I've done lots of stitching and I've stuck with a green, purple and blue color scheme all over. Now what we're going to be focusing on is this section. Well, there's couching all over it, but I hope you can see that. We're going to look at how to do this technique. It's really easy. Now what I love about doing couching is that we don't need a lot of resources, as I said. I'm going to show you what I actually use to do a lot of my couching. My work is often done with t-shirt yarn. Now t-shirt yarn is literally what it sounds like. These are old t-shirts that I had that have got a bit worn out and old. A couple of them were raggedy and weren't worth wearing much, and these ones are bits that were left over from additional sewing projects. So this is all t-shirty stretchy fabric that you can cut into strips, and when you pull it, it will roll into a cord. Now, as I said, in times like this when students are not at school, you're looking for resources that you can find at home that don't cost a lot but can be used to create very effective pieces of work. So this is a really good way to start to get yarn. Of course, you can use other strings, you can use ribbons, you can use all sorts of stuff, anything, braiding, any sort of decorative strips that you wish to sew onto your fabric. So we're going to look at how to actually do the couching. Now, the first one I did was on white fabric, and as I said, I stuck with a cool color scheme. For this one, I've purposely decided to use a blue background, and as you can see, I have attached my work onto an embroidery hoop. This is just a ring at the back, another ring on top that you tighten. That just helps to hold everything flat. So I'm now couching on this piece of fabric, and I'm just going to show you a couple of stitches with this purple. I have tied a knot in the back of my thread. I'm coming up from the back of my work, and I am literally just going down on the opposite side. Let's get a bit closer so hopefully you can see that. So I'm coming up right now, I'm coming up on the right hand side of my yarn, this purple t-shirt yarn. I'm coming up on the right hand side, and I'm just doing a stitch that is looping over it and going down on the left hand side, and I'm just going to keep doing this, moving it around in swirls for this particular piece. Now my aim for this is to fill the entire piece of work with my couching so that I will have this beautiful panel that I can then add to something else. Now, when you're couching, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to use this all over as I'm doing. You could decide to use it selectively. It could be used as an outline when you just want to highlight big, thick, bold lines in your work, or it could be used to fill in an area, as I've done on some of these. So depending on your project, you might have a picture that's applique. Applique is another really good technique to use right now because you can use scraps of fabric that you have lying around at home, or it might be old clothes, it might be old pillowcases. I wouldn't recommend you using stretchy t-shirt material for applique, but you could applique a design and then do couching around the outlines or to fill in certain sections. So it's as simple as that. I'm just following right now. I've got a blue line that I've already done, and I'm going to continue to work my way around that, now filling it in with a purple line beside it. So I'm going to just bring my thread back to the top and continue to work my way around. Now as I get to the end of this, when I want to finish it off, because I want it to have a nice neat end, what I normally do is fold the end of my yarn under and then just do a couple of stitches right through that folded edge and then tie it off at the back, and that gives you a nice neat ending. I'm going to take this out of the embroidery hoop so you can see what the big project is looking like. This is going to take me quite a while to finish. It's not really a project for any specific reason, just something that I'm working on, but I thought it would be very useful, especially for many of my textile students. Right now you would normally be in school, you would normally be doing tie and dye, batik, printing, screen printing, block printing. Those techniques take up a lot of resources and you need to have the space to work. For those of you who are stuck at home and doing online schooling, but you need to finish off your textiles pieces, this, along with techniques like applique and other hand embroidery, would be fantastic techniques to use to do your work. You don't need a lot of resources, and you can in fact use up things that you already have at home, like t-shirts, old t-shirts that you can make into your own yarn, and just a piece of background fabric. Have a go, see what you come up with. I hope you enjoy this technique. I hope you find it useful. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and look out for further videos. Enjoy your day. Bye.